See what we got.
Disgusting.
What? No, I'm not disgusting. What?
Dislike.
No, don't dislike the video, please.
Fake. You didn't actually beat it. Prove it.
No, I swear it's not fake. I actually did beat it. You have to... What is this?
Dude, where's the goon cam?
What? You know what? Let me just go for a nice stroll outside. And... what's this? A tree? I wonder who planted this. The farmer. Of course, it was you, mate. Yeah, wasn't it? Look at your big bointy nose, mate. Bointy, it's not even a word. I'm just so angry right now. Oh, look at you. You've also got a big bointy nose. Yeah. Honestly, it doesn't even need to be this intense. You know, I'm just gonna move village and... Oh, yeah, no. Okay, then. Screw you as well, mate. And that he did. He couldn't have a legacy of being disgusting and awful, an outcast to society. He had to prove to everyone that he was a good man. So that's exactly what he did. As the Predator, I will have a few things up my sleeve during this 100 days. One of which being the BFG from Doom. Because it's a laser gun, it's the closest thing I could find. Next, I'll have invisibility potions, as the Predator can do this. It's widely seen in the movies. I'll also have night vision, as in the movies it's shown that he has thermal vision. And I don't know why I have a bamboo raft, but we'll take it. Now the first thing I would need to do is garner various resources, including wood and stone, as this would be vital to me progressing in the game and just surviving for the first few nights, as I would be very vulnerable. On the 9th of August 2025, I am going to enter the Johnson Public Library, after which I will relieve myself of all clothing and place a piece of jelly on one of the tables, leaping onto it, causing a tsunami of jelly, and then getting arrested by the authorities. Now that I had stone tools, I'd be ready to take on the creatures of the night, and would set out on an expedition to find a new home, and maybe a village, as that would be quite nice. After a night so unfathomably terrifying that I cannot comprehend nor put it into words, I was on to day 2, collecting sheep so that I could create a bed, which would allow me to sleep through every night after this, because I never wanted to go through another night again, due to my relatively bad experience. Now that I had set up a spot for my house to be built, I decided I would put my bamboo raft to use, and collect some people in it. After that, I decided I would try and build a house, but accidentally built a masterpiece. A work of art, if you will. This was no problem, as I was used to living in museums anyway, due to me being a homeless bum that bunks everywhere. I then yearned for the mines and created myself an iron pickaxe, which I would be able to use to collect diamonds, a very valuable, rich resource. The brightness of this clip has been turned up so that you can actually understand what is going on. I got slimed by a skeleton. What? Although it was fine, because I was cheating and just respawned. Oh, hell no! And that was just the beginning of one of the worst nights of my life. But you know what they say, new day, new me, so I doubled down, went back in the caves the next day, and found diamonds. And not just one, but 2. 3, 4, loads of them. I then created myself a diamond pickaxe, got more diamonds, made a chest plate, and even a sword, and I felt geared up, invincible. So I went, and I started mining obsidian. Yippee. And then, a pure stroke of luck, I saw a house in the distance. A village. Finally, I was going to be able to have a house in the state which I would be safe in. When I arrived, let's just say it didn't take me long to realise which house I wanted to sleep in. After I had claimed my house, I decided to see what the neighbours were up to. And then... something happened. Something clicked in my head. I I couldn't resist. But then I realised that I didn't have 1,000,000 subscribers yet, so I got back to exploring the village. What I was going to say is that I couldn't resist giving him a high five, because he was a fan of the channel. And after I had gathered enough wheat to make an outrageous amount of bread that would last a lifetime,
You spend our V-Bucks on Skibidi?
I was ready to take on any challenge that was thrown in my face. The first of which being the Nether, a very treacherous land that has broken many men. But it will not break me. It probably will, I just said that to sound cool. I really hope I don't die in that. I then got a flint and steel to light up my nether portal, and a villager pressed me, so I slimed him. I went into the portal absolutely naked, and for good reason. Because what on the planet Earth was this spawn? Treacherous, that's what it was. I then realised that I needed diamonds more than ever, so I went caving, and after a long time in the caves, I had enough diamonds to make full armor. I forgot what I was going to say. Now, I wanted to spruce up my house by adding a balcony. You see, my house was small, claustrophobic even. You know, it was not the greatest, but it wasn't the worst. And I'll tell you what, it was a lot better than literal hell. Now, this was my first actual trip in the Nether, and I came out empty-handed. I spent so long in the Nether and came out with nothing because I was just too weak to fight the enemies inside, and I knew that I needed to get enchanted gear. So I spent a few days mining, got myself full enchanted diamond gear, and felt like I was ready to take on the Nether and find a fortress of the Nether. Turns out the Nether wasn't really that great. I found that out when I got bummed by 3 giant pigmen with axes. Yeah, that was a sick one. Really enjoyed that. Then while I was strolling through this barren wasteland, I found something. A dried up crispy ghast. How amazing. And you know what's better than 1? 2. I then encased them in water, which would allow them to grow, because that makes loads of sense. I then decided that I needed some wood, so I deforested an entire forest. Mr. Beast probably wouldn't like me, but if he read the title, he'd probably change his mind. Using all of the logs I had gathered, I built a wall around my house, separating me from the village. As well as that, one of my little ghast guys had grown, and befriended a villager. Well, I befriended a villager. I don't even know who this guy was, honestly. He was just following me and being weird. And after getting him employed with a job that really benefited me, I decided that he could stay in my village, as long as he was pinned to the wall and couldn't move at all. And after expanding the wall to encase a larger portion of the village, I figured that it would be safe enough for my mending villager to free roam. This was one of the worst and best decisions I've ever made. Following this, I got blessed and found the Nether Fortress. Finally, after days on end of exploring this horrible place, I found something that was worth it. I was thrilled. Then, I got some blaze rods and tried to leave. And just as I did that, 3 of them jumped me. Luckily, a wither skeleton also jumped me, because I guess 3 blazes just wasn't enough. And then I died. Obviously I died, I mean, now if you're wondering, oh no, how did he die? What went wrong? It's all because of James. That's right, James, I'm onto you. Your day coming, James. Your day coming. Luckily I got back just in the nick of time, no thanks to James. And I was 1 HP, no thanks to James. When I got back to the overworld, I decided to see how my mending villager was doing. Clearly not very good. This was no problem. I went to go grab my butcher knife so I could skin him alive. But before this, I decided that maybe I should give him a second chance. And after 2 short, enthusiasm-filled days, I finally got mending back. Good job, mate. You can spend the rest of your life in a box of despair. Then, I continued on my potato farm, and finally had a steady supply of food. Even though I still had like a stack of bread left. Potatoes would never hurt anyone. especially if Bane's and China might. After spending a week creating a sugar farm civilization, I finally had a max level enchantment table. Now all I had to do was get loads of levels and loads of ender pearls, as these would both allow me to complete the game with 2 hands this time. And so I decided to build a mob grinder, because going to the Nether every time I wanted to farm mobs and get XP was not efficient and honestly just dangerous, because, I don't know, it's hell. And it's safe to say that this worked a lot better anyway, so I was never going back to the Nether. Well, I was. I was making one last trip to the Nether, because I needed ender pearls. Oh, that's really awkward. Yeah. And believe it or not, I made Eyes of Ender. Now, this was as good a time as any to dust off the Fitbit, because I was about to get some serious steps in. Now, every time I would throw the pearl, it would just go back and forth, but it wouldn't go under the ground. But subsequently, I concluded that I was standing above the stronghold. Now, before I went to the end, I would need to get really good gear, because fighting them, the Ender Dragon, would be very difficult, especially with low level gear. I needed enchantments right here, right now. So, I farmed loads of levels, got myself full enchanted diamond armor, and began to make my way to the stronghold, which took a lot longer than I'd like to admit. But eventually, I made it. My stronghold had a great spawn with an absolute extraordinary number of 0 eyes in the portal. No problem, I had 14. Came prepared. So when I actually got into the end, I slammed the Ender Dragon. I'm gonna skip it because it was just boring, and you've seen it like 50 times already. Yeah, so I slammed him, went to the End Islands, found an End City, had a great time there. Then, I got the egg and went back to the overworld, and now I had beat the game. I didn't know what to do. Back at home it felt empty. I felt nothing. I feel nothing, brother. When I look in this guy's eyes, I feel... So, I just decided to build loads of random stuff for 40 days to pass the time. But this is it. Day 99, the last day. I have spent so long just building loads of stuff just to pass time, and I'll just do a little tour. Now, one of the first things I built was a chessboard. It was very easy to build, but it held deep meaning, because I love chess. I love working my brain, scratching my brain. Yeah, loads of stuff with my brain. And if you're wondering why I sound so weird, I'm currently ill at the time of recording this voiceover. Which is not great, because it's like the last segment. I wanted to have like a very beautiful narrated voiceover. And here I am. There's like snot dribbling out my nose onto the floor. It's crazy. Anywho, the next thing on our to-do list is not this ghast that I embarrassingly failed to mount. It's the giant red arrow that's pointing into the floor. And it just goes down into a geode. There's nothing really in this geode, just a jukebox, so I'll just come here and listen to like a disc for 30 seconds and then leave and go build something. So, great use of this geode, honestly. Loved it so much. Listen to it every day. That's a lie, I didn't. What is next on the to-do list? Well, I built the entire Clash Royale map. And if you ever wondered what Larry's POV was when he's on the battlefield, this is it. I don't know. Musketeer. I'm running. Oh, the other Larry just got slimed. Come on, boom. One hitting. 37 damage. I also built this Nether hub. It's just a box with some windows in the Nether. Now, one of my biggest projects was building a dirt castle. This took about 2 double chests full of dirt. This was a hefty task. But, I did it. There's no gold in the gold cache. I guess we got raided. But yeah. Yeah, this is where we train the troops. We got the level 4 archer tower. It literally looks like it's out of one of those noob versus hacker versus pro thumbnails, mate. So I guess I'm the noob. Now, going down this ominous, strange-shaped tunnel would lead somewhere that you probably wouldn't expect. It led here. And yes, if you're wondering, this is a wee graveyard. I know. How peculiar. There was also a, I don't even know what that is. An elixir deer? I honestly don't even know. Don't know why I built that. And up here, we had one of my favourite places in the entire of the map. One of the where you pooping the hardest toilets. It also came with a way to experience life as the poo, if you want that. I know I did. Now, there is one last structure I built that I haven't talked about yet. I was saving this for the finale, and for good reason. You see, if you recognise this strangely shaped, coloured building from your childhood, that's not a good thing. I guess this is how it ends. I flipped that lever, and everything is gone. Inside of this sheet. Well, I mean... Let's look at the sunset. Wow, that's a beautiful sight. And that's an amazing way to end the series.